Our customers frequently ask how our cars compare to the competition. Well, rising to that challenge, we found cars in the same class and put them through a series of tests. In a 30-minute test drive, how possible do you think it is to gain a good impression of the power and performance of a vehicle? Well, fortunately here in Colorado, we have the toughest roads about 5 miles from our dealership. I-70 goes right over the Rocky Mountains at speeds of 75 miles per hour, multiple lanes, and 8,000 feet and higher. Listen to what these drivers discovered heading up the steep, fast, and dangerous incline.
But I just feel that the Honda just has a much better fit between the transmission and the engine for torque and power. Just feels better.
Civic is, yeah, all around much more responsive, better handling on the curves, and transmissions seemed a lot better.
And the acceleration is much more natural. Not a lot of engine whine like the Corolla.
This has a ton of torque. Did you notice that in the rear end? It just feels like it's going to push you right out.
When you first step on the accelerator pedal, there's quite a bit of delay. It almost feels like a hybrid vehicle before it really starts taking off. But then it has a lot of torque, so it does take off pretty well.
Yeah, and there's something about there's a lag between like when you floor the gas and when it actually accelerates. It takes almost a half a second.
Almost like it revs up.
Yeah, it has
before it revs right down.
The transmission doesn't kick in right away, something like that.
Oh, okay.
There, see? It took like a whole second to actually kick in.
It feels like it's struggling right before it shifts out into a different gear, and if you can feel it in the back, it's constantly searching as we're climbing.
Toyota just is an underperformer. The Ford,
rental car,
it feels like a cheaper built car, and the misadventures of the transmission and those kind of things just leave you with a bad taste. Where the Civic, because it's just a constant performer in all areas, seems to do really well.
What I was telling John, I had it floored all the way and could not get it to go above 70 miles an hour. There was just no power.
It had no giddy up coming up the hill at all.
No.
It doesn't do a lot of gear hunting because of the fact that it is a 4-cylinder, but and it's fairly quiet, but there's just no power. It's probably the slowest and what I would call the biggest dog of all of them in terms of get up and go.
We weren't surprised that the 4-cylinder Corolla had difficulty with the hill, but we all thought the 6-speed Ford would dominate. Unfortunately, all the drivers noticed a slight pause before the engine would kick in, and most of us remembered that over the performance up the hill. The Honda Civic didn't stand out really one way or another, but it did seem to be a consistent performer. You've seen and you've heard. Draw your own conclusion, or test drive all of these vehicles with us right now, one after another. If you find one you like, use our 250-mile money-back guarantee to make sure it's the right purchase for you. Check out our other videos to learn more about fit, finish, power, and performance of all the vehicles.